Welcome, everyone, to the discussion on Marxism. We're diving right into an idea that critiques how wealth and power are distributed in societies.
Yep. Right. So we're talking about an ideology that really flips the narrative on capitalism, focusing on the struggle between those who own the means of production and those who, well, work for a living.
Exactly. Marxism, developed by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, argues that the structure of the economy shapes political and social life. It's like the economic base that sets the stage for everything else.
And that base, according to Marx, is all about production, right? The ones controlling production essentially control society.
Yes, yeah. Marx believed that whoever controls production, think factories, technology, and resources, wields the real power. He used historical examples too, like feudalism versus capitalism.
So, under feudalism, we had the lands owned by landlords and the labor provided by peasants. But when it comes to capitalism, the narrative shifts to the bourgeoisie and the proletariat.
Absolutely. It's like a rewrite in roles. The bourgeoisie own businesses and factories, and the proletariat, the workers, must sell their labor just to survive. And here's the kicker. Marx argued that while workers create value, they only capture a fraction of it.
Right. That's the concept of surplus value, correct? The extra value that gets snatched away by the capitalists as profit.
Exactly, yeah. Workers contribute, but the profit, that surplus value, goes straight to the owners. It's seen as a fundamental injustice within the capitalist system.
And then there's historical materialism, which basically says that material conditions, like technology and economic organization, determine our social and political landscapes.
Right on. It's like the argument that our ideas, our laws, even our culture are shaped by concrete economic realities, not the other way around.
Yep. I sometimes wonder, though, can ideas ever overcome economic conditions, or are they totally dictated by them?
Well, that's a good question. Marx would argue that over time, as conditions change, so do the ideas, but he puts a lot of weight on the material factors.
True. So then, the theory goes that these conditions inevitably lead to conflict, right? That class struggle is what drives history.
Yes, exactly. Whether it's the feudal conflict between landlords and peasants or the capitalist clash between the bourgeoisie and the proletariat, class struggle is the engine of historical change.
I get that. Marx basically predicted that this struggle would eventually lead to revolution and the overthrow of capitalist systems.
Right. He envisioned that the inherent contradictions in capitalism, like economic crises and ever-widening inequality, would heighten class consciousness among workers.
Yes. And this class consciousness means that workers start to see their shared interests, correct?
Exactly. They realize that the system is rigged. It's like if you're constantly getting shortchanged, eventually you team up to demand a fair shake.
Right on. And then Marx suggested that this collective action would lead to socialism and ultimately a classless communist society.
True, that's the ultimate vision, a society free of class divisions where resources are shared and exploitation is eradicated.
But here's something to ponder. Many critics argue that Marxism underestimates the complexity of human motivation. What do you think about that?
That's a point worth debating. I mean, it's like saying, hey, all workers will automatically band together. In reality, human desires and individual ambitions can be, well, far more
I see what you
complicated.
mean. Right. It sounds a bit idealistic, but supporters of Marxism might say that despite these complications, the underlying economic dynamics still drive behavior on a large scale.
Exactly. They'd argue that even if individual motivations vary, the broader patterns of exploitation and inequality are undeniable. And even today, look at how big corporations accumulate wealth while many workers struggle to make ends meet.
Indeed. It's like an enduring critique of a system that seems to promise wealth, but also deep-rooted inequality.
Absolutely. Marxism gives us a lens to analyze power relations in economic systems, even if not every detail of his vision plays out perfectly in real life.
Yep. And we can see its legacy too. Marxist ideas influenced major revolutions around the world, like in Russia, China, and Cuba.
Definitely. Although, interestingly, the governments that emerged in those revolutions often strayed from Marx's original theories.
Right, which leads to another key point. Marxism isn't just about revolution. It's also a framework for understanding the structures that underlie our global economy and culture.
Yes, think of it as a set of analytical tools. Modern Marxist analysis often tackles globalization, labor rights, and the concentration of wealth in multinational corporations.
That's interesting. So even if the revolutionary aspect hasn't completely materialized in most places, Marxism still offers valuable insights into inequality and power.
Precisely. It forces us to ask fundamental questions. Who controls economic power? How do these structures shape society? Can we ever truly eliminate inequality?
Yep, big questions indeed. And these questions continue to be relevant, especially as we see shifts in technology, trade, and how work is organized today.
Absolutely. It's like adapting Marx's analysis to the modern context, dealing with, say, the gig economy or the influence of digital platforms.
Definitely. While his predictions about inevitable revolution might be up for debate, the critique about exploitation and surplus value still resonates.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like capitalism has evolved but still carries its fundamental issues, like wealth concentration and, the dynamics of power between employers and laborers.
Right, I get that. One thing that intrigues me is how Marxism transcends just economics. It also digs into ideology, culture, and even political science in contemporary studies, doesn't it?
Exactly. It's not just about numbers and production, but also about how we think, the ideas we hold, and how those ideas, in turn, justify certain power structures.
For sure. That holistic approach makes it so compelling, even if there's ongoing debate about its feasibility in actual practice.
Yes. And while I agree that some aspects might be overly simplistic in their assumption of unified working class motives, it still challenges us to critically examine the status quo.
Right, absolutely. And it's that challenge, questioning who truly benefits from our current economic system, that keeps Marxist thought alive in academic circles and political discourse today.
Exactly. It's a powerful tool for critiquing not just capitalism, but also the ideologies that support it. It asks, what if there's a better way?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. So, what do you think the future holds? Could there be a renaissance of Marxist ideas in addressing modern challenges?
Well, I think it's already happening in a sense. With rising economic inequality and debates over labor rights in the digital age, these ideas are finding new life.
Indeed. I agree, although I must say that the complexity of today's economies might require us to tweak or even challenge some classical Marxist assumptions.
That's true. It's like, using an old blueprint, but needing to remodel to fit modern architecture.
Absolutely. And it's that interplay of adapting ideas, respecting their origins, and innovating upon them that makes political and economic theory so dynamic.
Precisely. Marxism offers a timeless critique, forcing us to ask who benefits from the system and how can we strive for a fairer, more equitable society.
No doubt. Well, thanks for this engaging talk. It's been a deep dive into Marxism and its legacy, exploring both its strengths and its challenges.
Yes, thank you. It's always great to peel back the layers of these influential ideas and see how they inform our world
Indeed.
today.